welcome to my video. Today, I'm going to be talking about episode 5 of season 18 of Deadliest Catch. And the boats that are going to be in this episode are the Cornelia Marie, Time Bandit, Stalbus, Saga, and the Eleanor J will be in it for a few spots in the episode. This episode starts out with the Cornelia Marie, and the Cornelia Marie is hauling in their gear and they're getting like single-digit numbers of golden king crab. They reach out to Jonathan to create a partnership and work together to figure out where the crab is, and they're talking and Jonathan's like, go set on like the 14th line, which is above me. The crab are in about 200 plus fathoms of water. The Time Bandit is doing about 20 golden king crab per pot or so they're doing really well, and Casey and Josh are going to move in the vicinity of where the Time Bandit is, which is about 50 miles away from where they currently are right now. Then it goes to the Saga, and the Saga is on the Balck Cod grounds. They have about 5,000 plus pounds of Balck Cod on there, and they have an offload in about 24 hours, and they need to put on about 45,000 pounds of Balck Cod to meet their offload quota. He is talking with Captain Sean Dwyer on the Eleanor J. He tells him how he's doing and stuff, and Sean's kind of teasing Jake about the boat and stuff. Jake was like, I'm about to start setting my gear on this like pinnacle point where there's a point here and a point here. Jake's going to be setting a 40 pot string in that area. Hangs up with Sean Dwyer. After they set their gear, Jake tells his cousin, he's like, I gotta go sleep for a couple hours, because he'd been up for a long time, so she's on wheel watch. Jake and the crew go down to crash. When a little while after Jake went down and the crew went down to sleep, she hears an alarm going off. So she sees water gushing into the bilge area. So she wakes up Jake, and Jake comes up to the wheelhouse to see what's going on. And he sees the water gushing in, and he's like, go wake up the crew, go wake up Mac, get him up here and get the crew up. So they all run down to the engine room. Mac White goes up to the wheelhouse, watch everything. Jake sees that a pipe to the crab tank broke, so he has to twist it off, and they come up with a plan to weld a seal together. Jake's cousin starts welding a piece together, and all of a sudden all the power goes off. Jake's like yelling at the crew. All the power on the boat goes out, and then the engineer on the Saga's an engine running, and then he gets a generator running. So they get all the power back on. Jake's cousin has the part ready, and they get it to him. He tightens it, and then they start pumping the water out of the bilge, and Jake and the crew's a little scared of what happened, but get it dealt with, and then they get back out to fishing. Then it goes to the Stalbus, and Sig is in harbor to load on some more pots and get some information from the captain where the pots are for him. There's 3 sailboats blocking his way, so he gets the crew onto the dock and has the crew ask the sailboat owners to move their boats, and 2 of the captains were like, yeah, we'll move them. They had to wake them up. And one of the captains of the sailboat, he was basically giving them crap, and he wasn't going to move, so Sig was like, on the radio, were they born assholes, or are they assholes? Sig tells the crew, hop on board, we'll deal with them another way. Sig gets close to them, and he just starts blaring on the Stalbus's horn to get the people to move the boats. It worked. They get them moved, and they start loading on the crab pots. Then it goes to the Saga, and the Saga is hauling in their gear. They're getting a lot of Balck Cod in their pots, so it's looking really good for them to get the 45,000 pounds of Balck Cod that they need. Then it goes back to the Time Bandit, and the Time Bandit is hauling in their gear, and their numbers went down to single digits because Casey and Josh, they set Captain Jonathan down on his strings. So Captain Jonathan's not really happy about that. He's like, you give them some information and then they screw you in the end. Jonathan's gonna stack on his gear and move a little ways away from the Cornelia Marie. Then it goes back to the Stalbus, and Sig goes to one of the captains and he starts talking to him about where the king crab are located in Norway. He finds out that the king crab are pretty close to the Norwegian-Russian line, so Sig's gonna go up there and fish in that area, and it's about a 300 square mile area to fish for king crab. and they have about 30,000 pounds of king crab left to catch. He's talking with the captain and figures all that information out. Then it goes back to the Time Bandit, and while Jonathan was hauling in a pot, he gets a potline stuck in his port side propeller. He and the crew have to get the potline out of the propeller, so the crew works on it, and they get it out, and they get back to fishing. Then it goes back to the Saga, and the Saga is still going through their string, and they're getting to the end of the Balck Cod string. They are still doing very well, so they're going to be heading in for their offload very soon. Hopefully they will have the 45,000 pounds that they need, because if they don't, there's a pretty good chance that Jake lose ownership of the Saga to Captain Sean Dwyer. Then it goes back to the Cornelia Marie, and the Cornelia Marie is hauling in their gear where Jonathan was. They're getting about 20 plus golden king crab, and all of a sudden they get a potline stuck in their propeller or rudder. They can't go anywhere, so they call Jonathan on the radio, and Jonathan is not happy because they set him down pot for pot pretty much. So he's like, I'm done, I'm not answering. But then with the fisherman's code, you have to answer an emergency call, and that was kind of an emergency. Jonathan answers them, and he's like, we'll be right there. They arrive on scene. Then they come up with a plan. Jonathan's going to get the Time Bandit close to the Cornelia Marie, and then Freddy's going to throw the pot hook onto the Cornelia Marie's deck, and then they'll attach that onto the line that's stuck in the Cornelia Marie's rudder. Then they'll get it attached to the block. Then Jonathan will maneuver the Time Bandit to pull the line out of the Cornelia Marie's rudder. They get that going. Then they start pulling on the line, and Jonathan moves the Time Bandit into the area it needs to be. They get the pot line unhooked, and it just snaps. So they get it all undone, and it's good to go, and they all get back to fishing. Then it goes to the Saga, and the Saga is back in Dutch Harbor offloading their cod, and shows their tank, and it's full of live black cod swimming around in the crab hold. It was pretty cool seeing that. They get it offloaded, then one of the crew members on the Saga goes into the cannery, and they get how many pounds of black cod they had on board. They needed, I think it was about 50,000 pounds, and they already had 5,000 pounds on board. The amount of pounds of black cod they caught was 60,000 pounds. So they met their offload deadline by 10,000 pounds. Then Jake calls Captain Sean Dwyer on the Eleanor J and lets him know how well they did. Jake's like, if I can't have the Saga, nobody can. And they're all just laughing about that. Then it goes to the Stalbus, and the Stalbus is just leaving the Norwegian port to head out to the Norwegian-Russian line to finish their king crab season. And then it shows the Cornelia Marie just doing extremely well on the golden king crab grounds. And then it goes to the Time Bandit. It shows them hauling in their gear. So that is the end of episode 5 of season 18 of Deadliest Catch. I hope you guys enjoyed this review of this episode. Don't forget to hit the bell icon down below so you can be notified when I upload videos. Also, please share this video with your friends and family. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and don't forget to smash the like button. Thank you guys for watching, and if you ain't dreaming, you ain't living. Don't forget to dream big.